Hey, Toni here. Thank you for coming to my channel, Rawlicious Souls. Today's video is about me moving to Thailand. I moved here in 2016, so 6 years ago, just over. And it's been absolutely incredible. Enjoyed the whole journey. Not always easy, challenging, but it does relate to raw veganism because obviously the lifestyle in the tropics is much more abundance of fruits, but don't let that stop you if you are in the colder climates, because in England, I pretty much did raw till dinner for a long time. My journey actually started over 13 years ago when I first came to Thailand. So this has always been a dream of mine to be over here, especially in the tropics, really. Not so much Thailand, but I felt Thailand I was called to initially. So I met a great friend who's still a good friend of mine here in Thailand, in Phuket, and he was talking about fruitarianism, and I wasn't even vegetarian at the time, but I was interested. I was curious. I was very shocked. I was quite open-minded, but shocked in the lifestyle that you can just live on fruit, and the fact that you didn't eat any animal products. For me, being in the fitness industry, I was always told you need animal protein to build muscle, to be healthy. We're all of us are told that. And what BS that is, obviously, which I've now uncovered and sharing with you guys. And I was curious, so I dug deeper. And that was where it really started. And it just didn't happen overnight. I think I transitioned about a year into that. So being vegan now over 12 years, I think about 13 now. And then I was interested in the high raw, but never fully raw. And I went on the path of raw until dinner, raw till fall lifestyle, really inspired by Freely and Harley, Durian Rider, and then found more incredible high raw vegans or fully raw vegans. But I never set out to be fully raw. But I was also devastated and shocked by the dogs here in Thailand, the abandoned dogs. I'd never been exposed to so much sick, abandoned, neglected dogs on every street corner. So that's my story, and that's my main reason why I started that intention of coming over here into Thailand to live this lifestyle, but also to help the animals in some way, the dogs, because that really struck a chord for me, really. It was one particular incident that had happened that had just catapulted my mission to help the street dogs here in Thailand. I left a dog that I found at the market. She was really sick, bad mange, but she fell in love. We fell in love with each other, and she followed me to my apartment. And I had to go and take her back to the market and lose her because I had no idea what to do. And that really paved the way forward, thinking, I never want to be in that position again. I want to help others know what to do when you find a sick dog, rather than it being feeling guilty. And that with the food, thinking, wow, I love animals so much. How can I be eating them if I love them? So that's where that started. I started to do talks at universities. I was speaking out. I was an activist. And then over time, back and forth between Thailand, didn't know how I could make it work. I built up the courage, me and my ex and my 2 dogs at the time. We came out in 2016. And yeah, finally made it here, even though it was not easy. We have very little money. The cost of living is much cheaper in comparison. Some things, depending on where you are, and especially now Phuket, prices are going up. It isn't everywhere. But I just knew in my heart, I'll make it work. I do have this drive, and I'm a big risk taker. I do take risks because I had nothing. I didn't have much. And I built my life around not having much anyways. One, because I couldn't afford anything. I was never, in and out of a couple of businesses that some failed, some did well for short periods. But I never quite made it in like the corporate world, in just business itself initially, because I was still new. But I knew in my heart I wasn't destined to be working in the system, the 9 to 5, living that lifestyle, only going out weekends and waiting until you retire till you could have this incredible lifestyle. I wasn't accepting of that. I wasn't accepting of that one way. I knew in my heart somehow there was a better way to be and live. I was miserable. I was so unhappy then. That's where I developed binge eating, comfort emotional eating. I was really heavy on the binge eating. It was excessive. I would excessively train, and then I would overeat, and it'd be a vicious cycle. And that pattern went all of my 20s, up and down, yo-yoing, intense training, and then restricting, and then binge eating. It was just not a nice way to live. I would say my 20s was pretty much a mess, I would say, but it gave me a lot of lessons. And now I know how far I've come, now in my 30s, 37 now, I believe that this was all part of my journey to uncover where I needed to go. We always get little clues, little gifts. And if we can see them as lessons and gifts, then we really will grow. And I was really into personal development because I had such low self-worth. Like I say, binge eating, yo-yoing my weight, dieting. I was in the fitness industry. I just didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel like I fitted in. And it wasn't until I reached out and saw others that had lifestyles that I wanted to be wherever they wanted to work, wherever they wanted to do their passions. I didn't know how to help the animals. I didn't know how to make my passion online, working in the health industry, but I just knew that's the way I wanted. I didn't know how. And I trusted with the law of attraction, law of vibration, learning all about that. I really trusted that this is all happening for me, not to me, and I will just keep on moving forward. I'm going to do everything I can to create a life that I love and not be poor, because at the time I had such a scarcity mindset. I never had much money. I've come from a family that we came from not an abundant mindset and affluent family. So I really had to work a lot on my self-limiting beliefs, and the people around me wasn't in the position I wanted to be in. I was thinking there's got to be something more, and people felt judged, and I wasn't judging them. I just felt like I didn't want to live that life, but I couldn't articulate, I couldn't express what was going on, what was wrong with, or I felt at the time what was wrong with me, until you start with social media, which it's a blessing. It is a blessing. Sometimes I feel I don't always enjoy social media, but we can utilize it, and it's helped me express myself, find like-minded souls, help the animals, share my vision, the mission. And for my ultimate goal of everything is to get everybody vegan. That's my mission. That's my drive. I want everyone to stop consuming animals, leave the animals alone. These are sentient beings. So I created a channel, a YouTube channel, to share this message. But then I realized you can be an unhealthy vegan and eating a lot of rubbish. But there was a part of that process, that transition. I felt good, but it's not until I started to have more raw days that I felt even more good. And then I did a 40-day juice cleanse 2.5 years ago. Felt incredible. And I thought I would say that was a next awakening for me. I had so many little mini, as they call them, spiritual awakenings, and mine was the most intense one was 2.5 years ago when I did a 40-day juice cleanse. That really opened up a lot of channels for me, a lot of connection to source, really feeling more strong in my in my body, in my mind, just much more confident, vibrant self. A lot of things shifted when I went fully raw. So I knew there's something in this, and this is why I'm super passionate about sharing this message. So if you aren't where you want to be, don't believe that you'll never get to where you want. There'll be days and moments where you won't believe in yourself. I had many of those, many times, and still it can catch me. My default, sometimes I have to really be conscious of my thoughts and my patterns and what I'm doing, my behavior. I have rituals that set me up for success, which I share with my clients and what I share on here on my YouTube, because I fall back, I fall victim. It's like an alcoholic, like a drug user. They will fall back because it's what's familiar, it's what is comfortable. And we don't want to be in comfortability. We want to be growing. We want to be learning, and we want to be embracing this change. Change is good. Getting out your comfort zone should be more focused on excitement rather than just having that fear. And through reading so many books, I'm an avid reader, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeffers, that opened up so many possibilities and what I can leap into and jump into. So when I'm scared of something, I go even deeper. I just do it. And I'm like taking risks. And risks to me aren't as heavy or as scary as they used to be. So I would say be an open-minded person. Through being open-minded, trialing things, just taking risks. I came out to Thailand I think between my partner and we had 2 dogs, £4,000. And the cost of living at the time, I think we were spending about £600 a month, and we were bringing in about 1,000, if that. So we're living very, very bare, and we could even live with less. You can live with £500 per month living in Thailand. And my cost of living is very low, and I can live in such nice places and live the lifestyle that I value, which I value nature, outdoors, the warmth, the fruits. So my drive to be more and earning more is not even just for myself anymore, is for animals. I know I don't need much. I can live with less. Yes, I won't settle for certain things because I have boundaries now. And I deserve certain luxuries, just like a nice home that is comfortable, but it's not costing so much as it would in the Western countries. So I'm very blessed. And that's why I chose Thailand, because I can live very comfortably with a nice environment. And I want a nice environment for the dogs, and I want be feeling good for the animals. So the veganism was for the animals. For myself, the health-wise was not even just for me. Obviously, it's a byproduct, but everyone else benefits. My friendships, my connections are much deeper. They're more kinder, they're more loving, rather than being toxic and drama and gossip. I'm much more understanding and more balanced living the raw lifestyle. And that's what you hear a lot of people saying. So living in Thailand can be as cheap as you want it. You have certain costs like visa costs, but that's all doable. When you're out here, you just make it work. I truly believe now it really isn't how. You don't need to know the how. You just have that desire, that intention. Really get your head around the law of attraction and law of vibration. This has really, I would say, got these programs that anything is possible, which I'd rather live that than not. So I know just taking one step at a time compounds, and you will achieve what you want to achieve. So surround yourself with those people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I was conscious of that. I was conscious of what I was consuming. I was conscious of not just the foods, but the people. I don't watch the news. I don't read books that are not giving me a sense of hope and freedom, courage and confidence. So I'm continuously looking for those that are shining bright, that are truly doing what their hearts desire and loving their life, because I was not in that lifestyle. I was in a life that was miserable, that nothing was good enough, or nothing was, which was hard. I found life difficult. I struggled. And just through my perseverance, just working on myself, my inner self-worth, my beliefs, that's when things really started to change. So Thailand has really changed me as a person. The whole journey getting from England to here was a really, really monumental step for me. It showed what was possible. Now, I'm not saying it was easy, but it was worth it. But you can enjoy it much more and trust more when you surrender and let go, have those intentions, have your desires, and then work each day to go for them with non-attachment at the same time. So I've been learning a lot of the non-attachment, having my intentions, and then just letting it unfold as it should. That's where the patience comes in. Because I look back, it's taken me many years to have this lifestyle. And now there's the next part of my journey is having a big retreat now, offering a retreat for those that are searching, that are seeking for a better life, a better body, just a much more nurturing, loving place to live. So I'm creating an environment for others now. I have it online where I'm helping others, but I really want this offline community. And then having the retired dogs continue with the rescue dog work that I'm doing. We've rehomed over 500 dogs in 5 years. And I just think, if I can do that, so can anybody else. I'm a girl from Hull, from Yorkshire, that has just had a dream. Yeah, it might sound cliche, but I had a dream. My vision board that I set out was to be on YouTube, was to help the voiceless, was to help others see their worth, And it's been an exciting journey, and I'm starting to enjoy more of the process rather than battling through it. And I want that for others. I want others to feel good every day, moment by moment, being in the present, being more mindful, being conscious of what we are doing, or our actions, how our actions have consequences, if that's positive or negative. So when we reconnect, when we get to who we really are, you start to love and appreciate who you really are. And it all starts with the diet, with the food we consume, the people we surround ourselves with, things we are listening to. So that's Thailand, and I love it. I was ready to move a couple of years ago. Now I'm much more stable. I was ready to move on to potentially Costa Rica, South America, but Central or South America. But now I feel this is my base. This is my home. And there's a lot of things happening, and I'm excited for the next chapter. So just to share with you, if you wanted to make it work, you will make it work. Learn to live minimal, which is a benefit anyways. If you really want to shift, move quickly, move intentionally, then start to let go of all the things that are weighing you down. Things, people, the food. So if you've got any questions, do comment down below. Reach out to me. I'm here for support. I'm here for you. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next videos. Be, feel, and stay Rawlicious.